Hi, what's up, everybody? I'm Angel. Thanks for stopping by. Today, I want to talk about seven ways that you can reach a really big goal. These are authentic action steps that you can take every day that can help you reach a goal that might otherwise seem too big and too far away. So, without further ado, let's jump in. Number one is take a small step every day. And what I like to do is have kind of my routine that I try to do every day, and then a plan B and maybe even a plan C, so that if I can't take a big action step or my full action step, that I'm still able to take a little step so that I keep credibility with myself, basically, and keep gaining that momentum. So I think it's important to break routine now and then. As important as I believe routine is, I also believe it's important to break that routine consistently. But so for example, I work out every day. On the days when I don't do my regular routine, I have a backup kind of plan B, an alternate routine that I can do. So normally I do a whole double sun salutation and a little routine. I have a headstand and I jump on my mini trampoline. That's my favorite daily routine, with a little tail end handstand and a walk with my dog friend thrown in. However, if I'm traveling and I can't do that, or I'm just tired or beat, or maybe I went snowboarding the day before and I'm just feeling like my body's a little sore and beat up, or I don't have the time because I'm overbooked, then I allow myself 500 reps. And it used to be 100 reps, but I've learned I can do 100 calf raises, for example, while I brush my teeth or while I'm talking to you. I can do, whip out 100 crunches real quick, whip out 2 sets of 50 squats. I can do some jumping jacks, whatever it is. My alternate routine is 500, basically any reps. So that any reps part allows me enough flexibility that there's virtually no reason I can't get that done. Even if I have to drive 8 hours all day, I could sit and tense and relax, or do some arm flexes, or whatever it is. I get to get creative. And as long as I keep that deal with myself where I'm working out every day, then I'm building momentum and I'm taking a little step. And some days I'm taking, more productive step than others. And similarly with my creative project, like my head hut, although I dropped the ball for a while, but I've been picking that back up again and taking at least a small step every other day on that. I have a lot going on. And so it's important to find what works for you, find an agreement with yourself that you can keep as far as taking those small steps of progress, and then keeping your own word with yourself. It really matters much more than your word with everyone else. So that's number one. Take a small step every single day if you have a big goal. And again, I encourage you to find alternate steps that you can count. For example, on my big project, if I can't work on the internet, I can't blog that day or type or draw, but I can brainstorm and I can write out a list, or I can think of what I'm going to do next. Even if it's the tiniest step, as long as I'm taking a small step every day. Maybe I can do a little research, look at a map. Maybe I can drive somewhere, take some pictures, do some calculating, whatever it is. As long as I'm taking a small step every day or every other day or once a week, whatever it is that I have an agreement. Ideally, it's every single day. If you have a really big goal, if you take a small step every single day, even if it's just calling one person or reaching out to one person, or learning one new thing, then you're gonna get to your big goal eventually, or at least a lot closer to it than you would if you didn't take all those little steps. So that's number one. Take a small step every single day. Number two is know your big why. A lot of people talk about this in various kinds of ways, and I agree with them all. Having your underlying cause, your underlying why, fresh in your mind. And for me, that means reviewing it every day. I like to review it first in the morning and last at night. Just a quick check in on what's my real purpose, what's my real why. In my case, it's to help promote world peace, to make the world a more positive place, to promote to help people really live more their true, beautiful, fully bloomed selves. So as long as I'm bringing all my actions and my projects, my many irons in the fire are all kind of pointed at that big why, then it's easy to keep building momentum toward my big goal. Because sometimes when you get bogged down in the little details of what you're doing, like making money, paying bills, keeping up with all the little repairs of life, you can lose sight of what your big why is. So for me, I think it's really important to revisit that why, kind of really freshen it up in my mind, that I want to be my best self in order to inspire others to be their best self. So that helps me set my intention every day and refocus, realign myself with my goals. So that's number 2. Know your big why behind your big goal and review it regularly, preferably daily or twice daily. Number 3 is set yourself up for success, and that's kind of in line with reviewing daily your big why. For me, that includes priming myself every day, and that includes reviewing my why, doing my mantra, doing my, I have a 5-finger mantra that works for me, but whatever works for you, to prime yourself, to get yourself in that optimum state to then win that day, basically. Because if you win one day every day, then you're going to win your whole lifetime. So for me, setting myself up for success is an ongoing process. It means always kind of reviewing, and it means starting the day priming myself. It means having a routine that works to set myself up. That includes being healthy and happy. So it includes keeping my body clean and exercised, and taking care of my relationships, and eating well and sleeping well, and reducing clutter in my mind and in my environment. That's a big area I've been working on lately, because that takes up a lot of energy. Clutter in your physical and mental and spiritual, you could probably say, environment takes up a lot of energy that could otherwise be used for positivity and creativity. So I like to try to do a better and better job of reducing clutter, and basically always looking at ways that I can set up my environment to be more supportive for my own success. So keeping my desk cleaner, cleaning up after myself. These things sound simple, but I skipped some of kindergarten, and I am a little deficient in some of those basic skills, and I'm learning that they have their value. So whatever it is for you that you need to do to set yourself up for success, I think it's an ongoing process. Most of us always have room for improvement. Some people got it down pretty good, and maybe they don't need to improve, but most of us could use ongoing improvement in that area of setting ourselves up for success. So that's number 3. Set yourself up for success in all your ways. Design your environment, design your rituals, design your lifestyle, so that your goal is more attainable. If you have relationships and habits and design an environment that is always distracting you, always getting in your way, always making your steps less efficient, then it's going to hinder your ability to get to your goal. So setting up your environment, setting up your mental and physical state to support your own success will help you be a lot more successful. I know, it seems real obvious, and yet so many of us, including me, really fall down in that area. So that's number 3. Number 4 is focus on one thing at a time. This is an area that so many of us struggle with. There's so many distractions. We all want to multitask. I'm guilty of it as they come, and I like to layer, and I still do. I think there's ways of being more efficient and doubling up and layering things that I do. Still, though, it's super important to focus on one thing at a time. When I'm hyper-focused on one thing, I can really get like 10 or 100 times more efficient and effective in accomplishing something than if I'm scattered all over. Like just moving rocks today was, if I were to just move a rock and then get distracted, and then another rock. It could take me years to get enough rocks down in the hut to finish that floor. Whereas when I'm just focused on the pile of rocks, I know I need to move and getting them down there first and then arranging them. And I may arrange them for a few more weeks or days or who knows how long. But in any case, getting them down there just took me, less than an hour probably total, because I just focused on it. I got the tiles out of my way out of there, and I got the rocks down there. And hyper focusing like that, I find 90-minute segments really helpful, really effective for us humans. Sometimes an hour, hour and a half. There's 3 to 5 hour chunks that I do real well with. In any case, find out what works for you for the set kind of activity you're doing, and then hyper focus on that one thing, that one activity for that segment of time. And I'm looking at my notes over here, and I don't know what I wrote. So that's just what happens to me when I write notes. So that's number 4. Focus on one thing at a time, and maybe it's not your notes. Number 5 is to always be continuing to upgrade your environment. I know that's kind of what I said in number 3 with set yourself up for success, but I think I wrote that down because it's really important to remember this is an ongoing process. You don't just set it up once and then you're done. You need to revisit it kind of ritually, so maybe once a month for the full moon is a good time. We have our seasonal shifts, every quarter is a great time to really look at your business, your environment, your lifestyle, your workout routines, and make some changes. See what needs adjusting. There's almost always things that need adjusting, either that we've let fall away that we intended to do and we're not doing up to the par that we wanted, so we can pick it up and try again, or we can adjust because we see, well, that was an unrealistic kind of ritual or form, or an unrealistic expectation, or it's not serving us the way we thought it would, and so make adjustments. And I think it's really important to routinely. So I like the full moons. I have weekly appointments with my son and my mother, and all those routines help set up regular adjustment periods, regular times to adjust your sales. Because I think your environment, your goals are always, as your skills excel, as you grow toward your goal, what you need out of your environment is going to change, and what you're able to do with your environment is going to change. So you got to do the best you can with what you got from where you are, and that may not be the perfect scenario, the ideal design or environment just now, but in a month from now, you might be able to do a little better. You might be able to get closer to that. So always be reevaluating and looking at, not always, but regularly, routinely, be upgrading your environment. Always be looking for, how can I, get rid of something that's old and busted, or fix it, or upgrade into something that serves me better, or that's more up to par with the new technology. Most important, to make sure that the easy things, the important things, get done every day in your environment. And get done just kind of automatically. So to decrease the amount of mental energy that you spend making those real easy decisions, like what you eat and what you wear. Get comfortable with something, and then just make that a routine, and then revisit that maybe seasonally or whatever routine works for you. Number 6 is public accountability, or let's just say accountability / either public or to a personal friend or partner or something, because there's nothing like telling somebody else about what you're going to do. And you have to be careful with this. There are parts of your goals that you probably shouldn't share. Sometimes it doesn't help. Sometimes it can cause self-sabotage or just be a distraction to go around telling people what your goals are, what you're going to do. However, if you have a goal and you're having a hard time reaching it, I've found that public accountability for me, like posting on Facebook when I was going to work out every day, again, and for me, it works better to hold myself accountable to what I'm going to do every day than to my end goal. So I might not share what weight I want to be, but I'm going to share that I'm going to do at least 100 reps every day, and I'm going to post that every day. I did my reps today. I did that for a number of years, actually, held myself publicly accountable on Facebook, and I don't do it anymore, but it really did help get me through a period, help me gain the momentum that I needed to help make working out regularly a routine part of my life instead of something that was staggered. And lately I've been wobbly a little, and I don't hesitate to go online and state that out loud publicly, and it really helps bring me back in alignment with my own goals. And not just what works for me. You got to find what works for you. Some people find just having one partner or one friend or some, an accountability partner. And by the way, I have two, actually three, but I have have a Facebook group called Authentic Action. That's from the Authentic Action School, and another called the Empowerment Tribe, and a third called Practical Healing. Any of those groups is got people in there who would be happy to be your accountability partner. And you could join. Please do join the group if you're at all interested in any of those topics, and you can just post generally to the group, or you can inquiry the group for a private partner to be your accountability partner. And I think that's a really great way to help you keep taking your little action steps to reach a big goal. So that's number 6 way to reach a big goal is accountability, either public or private accountability. And that's another thing. You could be just to yourself in your journal every day, or I find it helps to have it written down. So even if it's just private and you're not sharing it with a person, maybe chart it in your journal or on the wall or on your calendar in the bathroom, wherever it is, little notches, whatever it is. Hold yourself accountable in a way and see if that doesn't help you reach your goal. And last but not least, number 7 way to really ensure and help yourself reach a big goal is to enjoy what you're doing. You got to love what you do and do what you love, as I say. And I think it's super important to find ways to enjoy what you're doing. All along the way, you're going to find challenges. If you have a really big, awesome goal, some of it's going to be hard. There's going to be days where you don't really want to do what you have to do. And the best way to get through those is to find a way to enjoy it. Really enjoy the challenge, enjoy the grind, enjoy the grueling hardship. This is one of the things I love about snowboarding, is that it's really helped me learn to enjoy the suffering or the struggle sometimes, when there's that reward of getting better or learning something or just surviving, a blizzard. Sometimes that is such an exhilarating, awesome experience. And so learning to enjoy the ride, enjoy the experience, enjoy the outcomes, both positive and negative, and the process, the practice of getting to those outcomes is, I think, the number 1 key, really. I put it number 7, but it's really like the all-encompassing umbrella. Because if you're miserable all the time, if you're not enjoying all the process of getting to your goal, then you could get your goal. You could get to your goal and fail, or you could get to your goal and succeed. And either way, you're going to be miserable. It's like climbing to a mountain, and you get to the top of the mountain. And if you just cried all the way, even if getting to the top of the mountain is great, it's going to be over pretty soon. You're going to have to get back down the mountain and up a new mountain. And so it's super important, more than anything else, I think, to enjoy the climb, enjoy the process, the practice, enjoy what you're doing, enjoy the little steps, enjoy the learning, enjoy the failure, enjoy the success. And somebody like me, I've gotten good at, in some ways, of enjoying the failure, and then sometimes I forget to enjoy the success. Maybe I don't. I think I'm getting pretty good at celebrating both. And that's my advice to you: is enjoy the failures, enjoy the successes, enjoy the ride, the process between mountaintop to valley to mountaintop, because there will be many in a great lifetime. So if you're lucky, you'll get lots of failures, lots of successes on your way to your big goal. Maybe your big goal is just once in a lifetime, or maybe you have several. Most of us end up with more than one big goal in a lifetime. I've kind of developed this overarching big goal, but it hasn't been the only big goal I've had in this lifetime. And I really do hope that I will accomplish that goal, and then I'm going to have to set a new, bigger goal. So that is an awesome life. I really hope you're living an awesome life. I hope that those 7 ways that you can keep gaining momentum towards your big goal are helpful to you in some way. Please let me know if you can think of some other ways. You got other tips and tricks and steps that you can recommend for us all to reach our big goals. Please consider joining us over in Facebook groups, Authentic Action and Empowerment Tribe. Those are 2 groups that we would love to have you join us. You can find an accountability partner, or you can just use the group on whole as a public accountability forum, and you can find lots of great people in that group to connect to and talk about all your positive, authentic action, empowering ideas, questions, all of that. So until next time, I thank you for joining me. I wish you peace, prosperity, possibilities, and positivity.